Thank you, Madam President. You know, this is such a hard thing, and my heart goes out to Senator Kennedy, Ryan, all of my colleagues in Western New York, all of my colleagues who woke up in the skin we're in when, once again, we were reminded that just being can be perilous. Nobody can take away the pain of those families, the community, Western New York. The condolences, the prayers, they will help. No, the families don't care about tweeting and politics, but they do care, I'm sure, that we prove that their loved ones did not die in vain, because we actually did do something different, learned something from what rhetoric can do. Understand that each of us have a role to play in creating a society that is indeed respectful. Stop pretending that this is one thing here and everything else is fine. This is one isolated and everything. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. We all love our neighbors, but it's everybody else that may be a suspect, maybe harmful. We got to be afraid. And now it's amplified. It used to be kind of embarrassing, but now it's not. Now you're out there and you can say anything and it's okay. And yeah, you get more likes and more tweets and more publicity. And people who are spouting these theories actually are really high rated. People are listening. They're listening. People are winning and losing because they are saying these things. People don't want to be political about it, but the only way you seem to be winning in politics these days is by espousing hate and fear and what do we do to stop those people from those people? That's what we're doing. And yeah, all of a sudden we wake up in our neighborhoods. It's amazing how many people are impacted. People whose employees, people who lived in different places, people who worked in, people who came from different places. We're New York, and we are supposed to be, on another level. And guess what? We're not. We're just like everybody else. But we know that even though we don't want to have these conversations, it's things like this that actually spark these conversations, where for a brief moment, maybe we open our hearts and our minds and say, wait a minute. Is truth that scary? Is understanding the history of this great country that scary? Even if it doesn't depict everybody in the best light, it doesn't mean that we've done everything wrong. But we have to be able to say that there were things that happened that place us in places where we may not want to be, but if we continue to pretend that it's not a problem, and when we continue to elevate voices that exacerbate fear and ignorance and hatred because we can win a race or two, we will find that each and every one of us will have incidents like this, and suddenly this American dream, inspired by an enlightened Constitution that brought all of us as far as we've come, will mean nothing. Nothing. I am sorry that we're having this conversation because of these tragic loss of lives. I'm sorry that we're compelled to confront white supremacy, racism, hatred on the backs of those you love in your communities. But if we in this day aren't willing to look very clearly at a role that we can play going forward, to reset, to think twice, to roll back, to stop, and to begin again from a period that honors the sacrifice of these 10 souls. Madam President, I think we are ready for our moment of silence. And I pray that we as a body continue to make an example of who we can be, not only as politicians, but as real public servants, making this a New York that leads in bringing people together.